Greetings one and all, and this is Matthew from SYBMS. And in this presentation, I'm going to talk about one of the well-known companies in the aerospace industry, SpaceX. It was founded in 2002 by its founder and CEO Elon Musk. Its headquarters are in Hawthorne, California, USA. Its product line include Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy. These two spacecrafts aim to deliver payloads and satellites into orbit. Starship is an under development initiative by SpaceX that aims to deliver human beings to Moon and Mars. Then comes Dragon. It is a capsule that goes on top of Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy, and it delivers astronauts to the ISS, the International Space Station. Then Starlink. Most of us might know what Starlink is, but a brief introduction to Starlink is it aims to provide global network coverage, even to the remotest of remote areas through satellite internet connection. Rideshare, this basically hitchhikes satellites of private companies who cannot afford to do an individual launch. Starshield, it is a defense initiative through SpaceX. These are the vision and mission statement of SpaceX. So whatever SpaceX does, this is the core motto of SpaceX, and everything that they do is driven by these mission and vision statement. One of the things that SpaceX does is reduce the cost of space travel, and it is primarily driven by its vision to enable human to become multiplanetary species. A SWOT analysis: the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of SpaceX are one of the biggest strength of SpaceX is its technological innovation. So making rockets reusable by enabling them to self-land after stage separation. Cost effectiveness, reusability decreases the cost of rocket making, and strong leadership in its industry. Weaknesses include dependency on government contracts. SpaceX is highly dependent on government contracts for its revenue. High development costs, as SpaceX heavily invests in R&D, it has high cost in development. Production delays, that is because SpaceX is a private company, and it's highly dependent on fundings. Production delays happen. It is one of its weaknesses. Then comes opportunities. Commercial space travel. So due to public's growing interest in space travel, uh, commercial space travel can be one of the highlights in the coming years. So it is one of the main opportunities for SpaceX for a high margin revenue source. Then comes global satellite internet. SpaceX's Starlink. It still has vast potential, as they haven't yet made it fully globally covered. So it still has to reach many countries, and so it still has vast potential. Then comes deep space exploration. The threats of SpaceX include intense competition. Companies like Blue Origin are still a major competitor to SpaceX. It has regulatory and environmental scrutiny, also financial risks. Pestle analysis of SpaceX. Political, since SpaceX is highly dependent on government contracts, change in government can affect SpaceX's revenue sources. Economic factors include high research and development cost, growing space economy, and global economic conditions. It includes Let me elaborate. So, since SpaceX's research and development costs are high, economic downturns can reduce fundings and investments. This can strain its ability to function. Growing space economy. So, since space economy is growing, it provides equally vast opportunity for SpaceX to grow. Then also economic crisis that can happen in the world, like recession can affect government and the public funding for SpaceX. Social factors include public interest, space tourism appeal, people are more and more interested in space tourism these days, and it is also a very high margin industry for SpaceX to work on. Corporate social responsibility, SpaceX's role in advancing technology for humanity's benefit, like Starlink's global internet coverage, contributes to positive societal impact. Though these are though there are concerns around the space debris and environmental effects, I think SpaceX contributes to a greater good than greater good. So then let's dive into the technological factors. It is a pioneer in reusable rockets. So it's quite obvious that SpaceX is a leader in technological innovation with its reusable rocket technology, reducing launch costs and improving sustainability. This gives the company a strong competitive edge as it is a pioneer. First mover advantage मिलता है इससे. Then Starship's development. Starship uh, is a rocket that is envisioned to deliver humans to Mars. Uh, it is also designed for deep space exploration, and even in this area, SpaceX is a pioneer. So even in this, SpaceX gets a first mover advantage. Then comes satellite technology, that is Starlink. SpaceX is the first company to ever come up with this idea of providing global network coverage through satellite technology. Now, coming to the legal factors, that is space law and treaties. SpaceX must adhere to international space laws and treaties, such as Outer Space Treaty, which governs the use of outer space by nations and private companies. This creates potential legal complexities for future missions, especially regarding Mars colonization. Intellectual property protection. It is pretty self-explanatory that companies must protect its cutting edge technologies through patents and IP laws. Environmental safety regulations. Now comes environmental factors. SpaceX must be conscious about its environmental impact while launches. Sustainability of space exploration. The long-term sustainability of space exploration include managing space debris and protecting outer space environment is a growing concern due to increase in space exploration in the past decade. Climate change initiatives. SpaceX focuses on reusability and innovation in rocket technology. This may align with broader global effort to reduce environmental impact by balancing out space exploration with environmental responsibility, but it will still remain a challenge for SpaceX. Now let's talk about corporate level strategy, and in this we would focus on diversification and long-term vision. The objective is to maintain leadership in space exploration while diversifying the revenue streams across aerospace, satellite, and related industries. So we can vertically integrate by continuing to develop and controlling critical aspects of space missions, from rocket manufacturing to satellite development. This reduces dependency on external suppliers and enhances cost control. Now, coming to the next point, that is global expansion of Starlink. Aggressively expanding Starlink's satellite internet service to new regions. So, since even Starlink is an an incomplete initiative. It's still in process. It has more global areas to cover, more regulatory compliances for it to comply, approvals to be received. So Starlink is a key player in global network internet infrastructure. So that is one area in which they can aggressively improve. Pioneer of mass colonization, focusing on corporate resources and long-term investment towards human space exploration and eventual Mars colonization. This includes fostering public-private partnership with NASA and other space agencies to share research and development costs. Acquisition and partnership, uh, SpaceX can acquire or partner with small aerospace companies that offer complementary technologies such as space habitats, life support systems, and AI. It is AI for automation of spacecrafts. Now, moving forward to business level strategies. In this, we will focus on competitive advantage. So, the objective of this would be to differentiate through technology, cost effectivity, and customer focus while competing with legacy aerospace companies like Boeing and emerging players like Blue Origin. So cost leadership through reusability that SpaceX is already focusing on. Then comes innovation faster than competitors, basically to get first mover advantage in the industry through innovating before anyone else does it. You can do it by heavily investing in R&D so that you can come across technologies before your competitors do. Then comes customer-centric approach, developing customizable package for government, private companies, and space tourism. Offer tailored solution for satellite launches, crewed mission, and cargo transport to space stations and other celestial bodies. So SpaceX is already doing it through its services like rideshare, through its products like Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, and also Crew Dragon, delivering humans to astronauts to ISS. Now let's move to the functional level strategy. In this, we are going to focus on two key areas such as in which finance strategy and HR strategy. In finance strategy, we will see long-term investment, and in HR strategy, building a high performance innovative workforce. Diversification of revenue streams, as under finance strategy we will diversify the revenue streams. So the objective of this would be to secure financial stability through diversified income sources. So not SpaceX should focus on diversifying its revenue stream by not only focusing on rocket launches. They can diversify it through internet providing, space tourism, and many more areas like that. Then comes HR strategy, building a high performing innovative workforce, talent development and retention. The objective of this would be to foster a culture of innovation and retain top tier talent. Strategy, that is, SpaceX should implement robust training and development programs tailored to high impact skills such as advanced engineering, AI, robotics, and space systems. This can include internal learning platforms, mentorship programs, and collaboration with universities for research partnership. Now let's move to the Porter's five forces model. So we are going to analyze threats of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, threats of substitutes, and industrial rivalries. So the threat of new entrants is low as there are barriers to entries in aerospace industry, and there is brand loyalty for SpaceX and specialized expertise that only SpaceX can provide. So there are high barriers to entries. Then there is bargaining power of supplier. It is moderate in aerospace industry. So, reliance on key suppliers. SpaceX depends on specialized suppliers for materials, components, and technologies. However, as SpaceX expands its production, vertical integration, which basically means producing parts in house, its dependency on external suppliers reduces. So, SpaceX is working on reducing its external dependencies by vertically integrating. Now, then comes unique needs. SpaceX requires specialized components, limiting its ability to switch suppliers easily. This gives suppliers a moderate amount of power. Then comes bargaining power of buyers. It is low to moderate, limiting as there is a limited option. SpaceX has few direct competitors offering comparable space launch services, giving it significant control over prices and terms. Government agencies and satellite companies are its key customers. Then, growing markets as demand for satellite launches increases. Customers are more likely to seek SpaceX's services, which limits their bargaining power. Then, let's move forward to threats of substitutes, which is also low. There are very few alternates. The substitute for space travel and satellite development are minimal. Other methods, example traditional launch systems, are less efficient and more costly compared to SpaceX's reusable rockets. Disruptive technologies, SpaceX's innovations like reusable rockets and plans for space tourism makes it harder for any substitute technologies to emerge. Industrial rivalry. Mm, Okay, so industrial rivalry is moderate. Competitors include Blue Origin, whose CEO is Jeff Bezos, and traditional aerospace giants like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. SpaceX's edge in innovation and cost efficiency makes it a strong competitor, but still the threat of rivalry is moderate, not low. And market share. SpaceX currently dominates the private space industry, but rivals with deep pockets can intensify its competitions. In conclusion, SpaceX in an industry with high barriers to entry, and low substitute threat, moderate supplier power, and limited buyer powers, gives it a competitive edge in space exploration and satellite launch services. Now let's talk about evaluation and control techniques. So, strategic control objective would be to monitor the implementation of long-term strategies such as Mars colonization and global internet coverage via Starlink. The tools that we would use to achieve this goal would be uh, measure key performance KPI aligned with SpaceX's vision like technological milestone, Starship development, or market penetration, Starlink subscribers. Strategic audits and also feedback loops. Operational control includes objectives, cost management, Six Sigma model, and quality control systems. Financial control include tools such as budget variances analysis, project ROI calculations, and long-term financial strategy. Technological control includes objectives, technological roadmaps, R&D performance metrics, and innovation funnel. Human resource control include objectives, performance appraisals, retention metrics, and training development programs. Now, in conclusion, just a minute. In conclusion, SpaceX being a pioneer in space travel industry and not only space travel but in many key aspects, it is set out for success. Thank you.